How's it going, everyone? This is Sonicrules 831 back with the third episode of the weekly Diecast. So, of course, the common theme for this episode will be one of the most iconic numbers in NASCAR racing, the number 3, as well as the patriotic paint schemes since I recorded and edited this during the 4th of July. I like to get ahead of schedule when it comes to doing these at this point. I think it's kind of helpful. So without further ado, let's get right to it. So this first car comes from the year 1998. This is Dale Earnhardt's Coca-Cola Chevrolet that he drove in a NASCAR exhibition race that took place at the Twin Motegi Oval Course in Japan. This was the third and last year that NASCAR raced in Japan during the 90s. The 2 years before, they were running it at the Suzuka circuit. This race was also dubbed as the Coca-Cola 500. And of course, Coca-Cola is a massive supporter and sponsor towards NASCAR. As a matter of fact, Coca-Cola has a thing called the Coca-Cola Racing Family. And of course, for many years, Dale Earnhardt was the prime star of it. Literally, they had vending machines with Dale Earnhardt and even Dale Earnhardt Jr. on them at one point. So Dale Earnhardt did drive this car in Japan, and that same race was also dubbed as the first time that Dale Earnhardt raced against his son in the Cup Series. That was Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s first unofficial Cup start before making his first official Cup start in the 1999 Coca-Cola 600. Jr. drove a number 1 Coca-Cola Chevrolet. Unfortunately, I don't have that diecast, but I'm pretty sure one of these days I'd be willing to look for it. So overall, I love the red, and I love how it pretty much matches any other Dale Earnhardt paint scheme, except the colors are different. The paint is chipped a little bit. That's my fault, because this was actually one of the first ever die casts I ever got when I was younger, and I adore it because, well, I like red and black on a car with a little white stripe. I love this design a lot. Really, there's no other way to say it, and I'm gonna give this car an 8 out of 10 just because I chipped the paint on it a little bit, and that's mainly because when I was younger, I used to love doing like little races with my diecasts, and I used to actually call it the NASCAR Meyer Cup series, and it was like a separate series or whatever, but I had a lot of fun with it, and I would come up with like my own little stories and all, and I used to do that when I was little, that's just me being a kid. Alright, so our next car for this one is Austin Dillon's 2017 Race 1 version when he drove it at the Coca-Cola 600. This also marked the first time the number 3 returned to victory lane in the Cup Series since Dale Earnhardt in 2000. So obviously this was a remarkable win by Austin Dillon as he was able to win the race on fumes. If I'm correct, Jimmy Johnson had the lead on the last lap, and Austin Dillon was able to get by and have enough fuel to hold off Kyle Busch to win the race. So as you can tell if you look closely enough, they actually, Lionel Racing actually put confetti and also bits of grass on the car when Austin Dillon did his burnout and everything. About the paint scheme, I really like the feel of it because it kind of has that vintage American feel. It has the hardwood floor kind of feel to it with the American flag printed on the side. Dow Chemical sponsored the car, Coca-Cola on the back. Overall, this is a really nice paint scheme. I always enjoy when NASCAR makes patriotic paint schemes. NASCAR overall is very patriotic, which I like. I really like this car. I'll give it a 8 out of 10 because I can't give cars 10 out of 10 the entire time. That's out of complete bias. But overall, very nice paint scheme and a very nice car. So to close out this episode, 1-3 car that I really would love to have is Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s Wrangler car that he drove at Daytona in 2010 in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, which then was the Nationwide Series, because that meant something to Dale Earnhardt Jr. He literally wanted that paint scheme right, and funny enough, he did win in that car. So one of these days, I would really love to have that car. If anyone knows where I can get this car for a good price, 164 please, because they're cheaper, let me know, because I'd really love to get that car. Well, that wraps it up for this episode today. I want to thank you all for watching this weekly diecast. Expect another one next week, and more videos to come as well. I'm Sonicrules 831, and I will see you whenever the next video is.